The service department at Gala Chevrolet is clean, modern, and ready for you. Our master technicians service every make and model, including certified service on any GM vehicle. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet. At Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it in to the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Fred Hultberg, Executive Director of the New Mexico Games. And Fred, another year's gone by. We're right back where we were a year ago, and it didn't seem like it was yesterday.
Dang, it comes by too fast. I don't know what it is. It's just like, you know, how you get older so fast, and you're thinking, dang, how could a year go by that fast? And here we are. We're just a week away from today, opening ceremonies.
You got events starting this weekend, is that correct?
We do. We have arm wrestling this weekend, and then a couple weeks from there we have badminton, and then of course the biggie is always basketball, and that's always Memorial Day weekend.
Well, what I want people to realize is that you do 16 sports, but there's multiple weekends because of different classes. Is that correct?
Yeah. We have, just if you look, if I'm looking at this
well, just read
here,
through those.
Okay.
What you cover.
Well, I mean, starting out, I know we did have this in order, but we kind of got a little out of order. But starting out right away, we're actually going to do arm wrestling, and we'll do that at the Elks Lodge. That's May 5, and then we got badminton on Manzano Mesa Multi-Generational Center. And what we do is the city allows me to use as many facilities as the city has that I can possibly use.
That's a good partnership.
Yeah,
to have.
it is. It is a good partnership. And APS right now is the same way. We get to use a lot of the APS facilities, and so that's great. But after badminton, then of course basketball, and we use 4 or 5 high schools, depending on which ones we use. And then we use Johnson Gym, of course. And then after that, then we have baseball, and you know, it'll be the first time that we're actually using the Albuquerque Regional Sports Complex. And remember, we did a special on them, and God, what a beautiful place. And right away, Tom Jury, our commissioner, said that the minute he told those people that they were going to use it, he already has 15 teams signed up already, you know, and he said they can't believe how fast these teams are trying to sign up. Now, I don't know for sure. We haven't decided what we're going to do, because see, that's 5 fields, but we can use it from 8 o'clock in the morning till probably at least 10 o'clock at night, which we couldn't do in the past. So I don't know if we'll be able to take 24 teams or not. Usually we take the first 24 teams around the state, and then and that's all we can do, because we guarantee them 5 games. It's a lot of games. And so I don't know what we're going to do. We haven't even thought about it yet. We're still trying to figure that out. But then after that, then we got pickleball, which, Gary Masvidal, he's been not pickleball.
Racquetball.
I mean, that's racquetball. Yeah, racquetball. We have racquetball on the 28th through the 1st of July, and really, Gary Masvidal's probably done it even before I came on board. I think he actually started in '89 when the games first started. That's the first 2 years I wasn't there, and then Gary was on board, so he's been on board longer than I have. And then
you took over in 1991.
91,
right?
yeah. So I don't even know how many years that is. I think it's 20. I'm going on my 28th year, I think, is what I'm doing. And then of course we have pickleball. That's June 8th through the 10th, and of course you can get all these things on our website, NewMexicoGames.org. And we're telling everybody what we're doing. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the website, but you know, we've just changed it now where it's more professional, and so it really looks good right now. And we're still working on it, trying to get everything up there. We don't have all the sports up as of yet, but there's a lot of sports that aren't even going to happen for 3 or 4 months. So, but people will see that it's going to be more friendly, easier to use, and so we're hoping people will remember NewMexicoGames.org, because if they just go up and try to go to New Mexico Games, people are having a little problem right now. So just remember NewMexicoGames.org. Then we have, from there we have judo. We're using Legacy Church, the gym, the new gym on the west side.
Oh, it's nice. That's where we had,
Right.
AYBL basketball. And,
Yeah.
and it's a miniature pit.
Well, I saw it on your shows. I was seeing it, and I thought, dang, that's a nice looking gym. And we were always using Sandia Prep, but the problem is, we have too many participants in judo and karate to do it together now. We used to do both of them together, and we call it a multi-generational, I forgot even what we called it now, where we combine the two together. And so anyway, now we can't do it, so we're going to go on the 9th, because that's when judo wanted to do it. We're going to go to Legacy Church, and then after that, the next week, we're going to go to Sandia Prep, where karate's going to be. And then after that, we'll go do track and field. That's on the 23rd of June, and then in between there, if you notice, we just added this before I came on the show. So if you look down at the bottom, there's sand volleyball. That's Charlie Guest, that's been with me forever too. He's doing the 9th and the 23rd and the 24th. You just have to look it up on the website, and we'll have like 2s, 4s, and 6s, and on those dates. And then after that, then we we go to swimming, and we do that. That's another city facility. I tell you what, it's so nice to be able to do swimming on the APS facilities, because you've been over there, and don't you do the state championships?
That's correct,
yeah. And God, what a great facility we have. It's so nice that Albuquerque finally. We've been so embarrassed, Steve, about our facilities, and now
actually we do the Metro championships.
The
there.
Metro. Okay. Yeah, I guess the state's at Academy. Yeah. So, but anyway, it's so nice to have the West Mesa facility, this Olympic pool. It's just so cool to have it there. It holds about 400 or 500 spectators, which we get that many spectators, and we get between 200 and 300 swimmers. But we have that facility. We then have this new baseball facility that's probably as good as any in the country, from what I hear. I know we've taken tournaments from Colorado, because we have 5 fields together, where in Denver they have nice fields, but they're all over town. So that's another new facility that, and then the pickleball, which we had just mentioned. They have one of the nicest pickleball facilities, and I can't remember if have you been up there?
No, I haven't been.
Yeah.
You just keep telling me about it. I got to get out there.
It's really, really nice. It's one of the nicest in the country, and so I'm real proud that Albuquerque is finally getting these facilities, because I would never have thought we would have spent almost $20 million to build a baseball facility. Would you?
I'll tell you what, Dan Lewis, Ken Sanchez, the city councilors, all the people behind
Brad
that,
Winter.
Brad Winters,
Yeah.
and all those, and like I said, that's why there's a multiple moving parts. But
I know.
They were all excited to get it done, and now
Yeah.
we're just seeing the economic development that it's bringing to the city.
Well, I know that. I know with Gina Kane, I think that's her name, Gina Kane, and she's one of the ones that I work with when I went to get the field, and she said she's got everything booked from now all the way into September somewhere now. So every weekend we have something going on out there on all 5 fields, which is really amazing.
Well, we're going to go to the Greenstown top 10 plays of the week, come back, talk more about the New Mexico Games.
Okay.
And it's getting exciting here.
It is. We're ready.
That will score. Rosales is digging for home. Play at the plate. Safe. What a slide by Rosales.
Harden is off the plate, and now he's going to run to home, and we've got a pickle here. And Harden going to go diving in, and he's safe.
Safe. Runner goes to second, out at second.
Got her.
Out at second, so swung on first pitch. Oh, nice catch left. Hit the ball well. Execute defensively. Runner's going to second. There's the tag. Runner's out. Oh, what a catch in right field.
Nice catch.
What a catch in right field to retire Niven. Great catch out there. What about swinging? Here's the payoff. Swung on. It's a deep left field.
Whoa.
That ball is gone.
It's gone.
Two-run home run by Aaliyah Hibben. That puts Volcano Vista up 2-0. Hibben waits and takes some good pitches, works the count to a full count, and hits the payoff pitch for a two-run homer to left field. Roger, great.
Here's Andres Quintana, and this one is skyrocketed deep out to center field, and that baby is gone.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Fred Hultberg, Executive Director of the New Mexico Games. And as we said in the previous segment, that it's here. It's going this weekend.
We got it going. I don't know if we'll have as many people in arm wrestling as we had a couple years ago. 2 years ago, what these guys do a lot of times, they bring in these arm wrestlers from Kansas, El Paso, Colorado Springs, and they wrestle against each other. And I don't give them a purse, but they have a purse of some kind. They make a bet that who's going to win in that, and I don't get involved in that. We're not supposed to, but that brings a lot of people. It's pretty cool because we'll get like 10 or 12 from Kansas. We'll get 10 or 12 from Colorado. We'll get another 10 or 12 El Paso, maybe even Arizona. It's kind of neat. Even though it is the New Mexico Games, there's something about it where they get to do this against each other. I mean, it's important when they can do that.
Well, Fred, I'm looking at this, and there's 16 sports here. About how many young athletes or middle-aged athletes or every athlete? How many athletes are going to be you do expect over this summer?
Well, it varies, but I'd say probably close to 3,500 kids, and we'll probably have about 1,500 adults, something like that. We do have more kids than adults in most years. It depends on what you define as a kid too. I'm defining a kid as 18 and under. I really am. I'm not.
Well, I consider you a kid, so I didn't consider you as a kid.
Well, good. Yeah. So I mean, we have a lot. I tell you what's so cool, and I've said this many a time, but I still remember the year that Coach Hackett was. He was the oldest one. I keep telling everybody every year about Coach Hackett. I love Coach Hackett, and he was 90 years old when he was throwing the discus and the shot put, and that's the oldest person we've ever had in the games. And then we had a little girl that was 5 years old. And so it's kind of cool to have a 5-year-old and a 90-year-old in track and field. And in a lot of sports, it won't go 90, but it's amazing how many people have run track that are in the 80s and 90s. And that's what's cool, because what we do now in the last couple of years, we do the Masters State Championship through the New Mexico Games, the USA Track and Field. We're really getting to work with them and help them out, and then they help us out by helping us with the equipment that we need to use, and they're there to help us do it because they have to do this each year. So we're kind of doing this for them when we do our track meets. So we're doing both things, and you wouldn't believe the old timers when they thank us. I had a guy a couple years ago. He was 87, and I think he ran the 800 and the 400, I think, and must have weighed 130 pounds, about 5'7". And after he got done, he thanked me. He said, "God, you know, I tell you what, I look forward to this every year. I'd just be sitting on my dang couch watching TV, but I've been working out all year long for you, you know, for the games, you know." And of course, when you look at what we give, we've got to have the nicest medals. I mean, look at this, how nice these things are.
Yeah,
look how big they are. They're huge.
Heavy. And
look how nice the lanyard is. It says "Go for the Gold," and I've seen a lot of.
You got the little Road Runner on there?
Yeah, we got our Road Runner. That's one thing we keep each year is we always keep the Road Runner. I still remember we had a lady that was on our board named Jean Postaway. She hated the Road Runner. So every year I'd do it, and she'd tell me every year that she didn't like it. Now, she moved to Colorado now, not because of the Road Runner, because of I don't even know why she moved, but it was just so funny. She was always on us every year complaining about the Road Runner. But I think it's great because we have different Road Runners. We have a mean one. This is kind of the mean-looking one. And then we have the nicer one. I don't think I have a picture of the nicer ones, but you know, in the book, this is an old book that Steve, and you can't see, I didn't bring an extra one, but if you look here, you've got like, this is volleyball, and then you keep going, you got the pole vaulter, Pat Trujillo. Did you ever remember Pat Trujillo?
I do.
Well, Pat used to do, I mean, back when he was a young kid, he was like maybe 20 years old, he used to do caricatures at Old Town. We used to own a basket shop down in Old Town, and so he'd set up his little thing. He'd take in $300, $400, $500 every day doing caricatures. He was great. Finally, he got an agent, moved to Atlanta about probably 30 years ago, and he's been doing caricatures around the United States. He's got an agent that books them during the Olympics. When I worked at the Olympics, he was working the Olympics. The guy took in about $10,000 that in about 5 days at the Olympics doing caricatures. But this guy has done a caricature for every sport that I've done. And we've done, just in case everybody's wondering, we've done 38 different sports in the 28 or 29 years I've been around. And I'm welcoming everybody to give me a call, 263-8513. If they want to add their sport, say next year, it's too late this year. We still have a chance to maybe do an exhibition thing, maybe in maybe September, October. But call me, 263-8513, and we can fill out some paperwork. And if you get your group together and want to do a sport, and we can do it. We just need help.
you know what? I want to compliment you on something. When, you know, most people give their phone number out, you don't get a phone call. And I tell you what, 95% of the time when I call you, you pick up, or I get a return, you know, or 100% of the time I'll get called back within the hour, unless you're just super busy. But anyway, I just want to, you know, I'm big on that too. When people call, I try to get back to them as quick as possible. So I just want to. That's a great trait that you have.
Thanks. Yeah. You know the thing is, what shocks people is that I'm New Mexico Games. So my phone, this phone here, is the New Mexico Games. It's also Fred Hultberg's phone. But what's really funny is I have gotten calls. Like I got a call just the other day at 6 in the morning from a lady. And she says, "Oh my God, I must have the wrong number." I said, "Well, who are you calling?" She says, "Well, I was calling the New Mexico Games." And I said, "Well, this is it." And she says, "Well, why are you answering the phone at 6 in the morning?" And I said, "Well, why are you calling me at 6 in the morning?" And so we started talking, you know, and she says, "Well, I thought it was going to be an answering machine. I was going to leave a message." The same thing happened past midnight one time. I got a call past midnight, and the guy thought he was just going to leave a message. But I answered the phone. Now, if it's at 3 in the morning, I'm not going to answer it. But I'm always up till.
No, you're similar. You're real similar to Mike. I know I won't offend you if I call you 11, 10, 30, 12, or something like that. So.
Yeah, no, I get calls at night because everybody knows that I 6 hours, 5 hours sleep's all I need. I know some people, they love to sleep in. I've never been that way. I don't know why, but I know friends of mine, they'll sleep till 10 or 11, and I feel like I'm wasting my day.
Well, Fred, we're going to go to another break, and we're going to come back and talk about the opening ceremonies that are going to come up on May 8th.
Okay.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We've got Fred Hultberg here with Executive Director of New Mexico Games. And, you know, Fred, it's annual second Tuesday in May. Is that
In May, yep. We always do it on the second Tuesday, and like I was just telling you, you know, the press is very important, just like you guys are important. You know, people don't realize what you guys do, how you get our name out to the public and stuff, and the paper does the same thing. The radio station do the same thing. Anytime I can get on TV or on the radio, I'm going to do it, because I tell you what, people, you wouldn't believe the people who's listening in the cars, who's watching on TV. It doesn't matter what time of the day or at night, you know that. You guys are on 24 hours a day. And so it's, so.
I got a great story for that. The day that
yeah.
you and I, you know, we did with Dream Style, we were on the air, you and I were talking about the April 6th, the Dream Style remodeling home show.
Sure.
And I went over to Costco right afterwards, and people were actually listening to our
Really?
thing right there as I was walking through Costco.
Really?
And I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is pretty interesting. So.
It's amazing. I've told you how many times that I've been like to an isotope game, and of all people that say, "Are you Fred?" It's a lady selling me food at the counter. I mean, I don't know how my voice is that strange, but I've told people, I mean, it's everywhere. I'll go to a football game, this guy will say, "Are you Fred?" from the Fred and Marty show. And it's just amazing how many people.
I'm glad they
listen.
call you Fred, not Marty. All right.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, but you are right though, that it's just funny how it just comes in. You just don't know what's you know, who's listening and who's not listening. So I try to get all the publicity and whatever I can from everybody I can, and so we'll have, like, for opening ceremonies, we're going to have all the TV stations, we're going to have the radio stations, we're going to have the Journal. They'll be there doing an article on our, and I don't want to say who they are, but we're going to honor our female and male athletes. We kept
A little
it
carrot
quiet.
out there. We need to watch out and find out
That's
who these
right.
are.
Well, you're gonna find a girl that that's an archer, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to mention this at the opening ceremonies. I don't know what it is about archery, but we have 3 nationally known archery participants in our New Mexico Games. I mean, this one was an alternate on the Olympic team about 12, 14 years ago. This other one is close to making the Olympics. And then this last one, she's 17 years old, and that's her goal right now. She's been invited to be on the Dream Team USA, and I want her to. In fact, she got a hold of me, and I told her it's casual. I mean, this is really kind of cool. She's 17, just turned 17. She's emailing me, "Mr. Hultberg, is it okay if I wear my USA outfit, my shirt?" And I said, "Well, of course." I said, "I love the USA." But she kept emailing about, well, how many people can I bring there? And I mean, it's just amazing that these kids that young take the initiative to email me asking all these questions. I'm not used to that sometimes, and I'm very impressed when I see athletes like that. And then we have a swimmer, and the reason I picked the swimmer is he's a good swimmer. His brother's been swimming for this club for a million years. But the thing what was neat about this, I thought, was he dislocated his arm, his shoulder, 2 weeks before the game. So he really didn't think he was going to be able to swim. But his mother said that, man, he's never missed a New Mexico game swimming event. And so she said at the very last minute, he decided, I'm doing it. I'm just taking my chances. And so he did it. And he came in third in the 50, and he got golds in the 2 relay races. But he was just determined. He didn't care, about anything. He just wanted to make sure that he participate in the games. And the one thing that he thinks so neat about the games that he doesn't get to do in his meets, he goes to La Cueva, is he doesn't get to swim with his parents and his coaches and like that, like he gets to do in the games. And that's what's so special about the games. That and with the games, we're the largest multi-sporting event in the state, and it's just neat how you can just bring everybody together and you become friends. It's from all over the state, and that's pretty special too.
Well, I'll tell you, 16 sports, you got some deadlines coming up for entry fees and stuff like that. I know that the early bird special for basketball is coming up this Friday. So how do they get in touch with you, and how do they get this done?
I mean, you can do it a few different ways. You can do it on Hold My Ticket. What you do is you go to our website, NewMexicoGames.org, and I know a lot of the people from out of town will do that because they can't drive in the town. But we have a few different ways you can do it. You can do it that way, or so you go to NewMexicoGames.org and do it online by Friday, which is the 4th of May, and that's the early bird special.
So what's the discount there?
It's you save $30. So if you don't do it by then, and I'll tell you what, it's kind of strange, but we have a lot of people that wait, and I'm not sure if it's because of money. I think it might be money. I don't know what the reason is, but we'll probably have at least 60 teams, because we do every year, that wait till after the deadline to register, and they pay the $30 more. Now, some of them have wait because a lot of the teams, Steve, the kids are out of town, they're going to college, and they don't have the money to pay for them, so they're waiting for them to get back in the town so they could, so they can get them into basketball. And that's probably the one sport, probably more than any, that there's such a late registration. But I mean, it's really great to see all these kids coming back. They're all friends. They all played. I mean, if like you've seen what the recreational division is, all the old timers from way back when. But then you also have the ex-Lobo and ex-Highlands and wherever, Arizona athletes all competing. I had a guy call me on the phone just yesterday, and it's kind of neat because I get to talk to all these people. And there was a guy that called me, and he said, I want to get on a team for the New Mexico Games. And I said, well, do you have a team? And he said, no. And I said, well, I can maybe get you on a team. He said, well, oh, God, I want to get on a team. I said, well, where do you want to go? And he said, as far as like, do you want to be in rec or you want to be in open? I want the best. And I said, well, how old are you? And he says, I'm 50. And I said, well, then you wouldn't want to get in the open. Hey, I'm telling you right now, somebody wants me, and they're going to really find out that I'm in great shape. I know I can play in the open, and I will do great. You get me on a team, you let me work out with somebody. And I thought that was kind of cool. This guy's determined, 50 years old, he doesn't want to play in the rec division. He wants to play in the open.
Well, Fred, we got to come to an end, but thanks for coming on, and I appreciate all the good things you've done, and good luck with the games this year.
Okay, well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.